Welcome back to Fight News Now. It's John Pollock, John Ramdeen, and Robin Black, and now it's time to play our favorite game show with our live studio audience who have memorized the title for one more week.
Wheel of Fighting!
This is where we spin the wheel, it lands on a mystery topic, and then we are going to discuss said topic. All of this new to us. We are at the edge of our seats each and every time we play this game. Waiting. Right or wrong?
Waiting.
Waiting.
Waiting. Our camera operator, I think, is wrong.
In the case of Tyron Woodley, he is playing the waiting game at this point. Historical precedent would state that this is a bad idea, that people are going to pass you by, that momentum will be lost, and Tyron Woodley may be forgotten. And Tyron Woodley, he's busy making movies, and he seems to be someone that's been putting his foot down, because he's someone that I think has been very overlooked within that welterweight division. The quality of guys he has beaten, but unfortunately, he's someone that, you know, out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think it's irrelevant what he thinks. It comes down to the UFC and their decisions.
And the audience.
And the audience, of course. And I think right now the most intriguing matchup for the championship at 170 pounds is probably the rematch with Carlos Condit, because of the fact Carlos Condit's been a champion before. He's been in high-profile fights. Nick Diaz, George St. Pierre, of course, Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler. And I know Tyron Woodley be pissed off because he has a victory over Carlos Condit. But the fact is, it's really out of his control. I think that he's got to stay active. Depends on if he can afford to stay, if he can sit on the sidelines right now. I don't know what his spending habits are, how much money he's made in mixed martial arts, as you pointed out, making some movies straight out of Compton. So if he can afford to sit on the sidelines and wait for his opportunity, sure, do that. But you know, then you're inactive, and you want to stay active, especially at this level.
Whatever you got to do, you got to gather all the information possible. You got to deal with the reality of that information, and you got to make choices based on what you want to do. So if the information is, man, you lose these things if you're not in the people's eye, the audience decides, the UFC decides. When Carlos Condit and Robbie Lawler have a fight like that, the next one is big. That means the audience likes it. It means the UFC likes it. I'm a Tyron Woodley fan, man. Yep. I've heard he's even better than he's ever been working with Duke. So I really want to see him fight, but I don't get to choose.
Yeah, hopefully a lot of big upside for him in 2016. Let's go to topic number 2, the wheel, which I think needs some WD-40. It's getting very squeaky. Maybe that's what Tyron Woodley needs to be. CM Punk's opponent. Is it going to be Mickey Gall, or is it going to be the Mystery Man?
It's going to be whoever the UFC wants to put up against CM Punk. I mean, we're looking at this fight with Gall and Jackson. What happens if both of those guys stink? Is this the opponent you want for CM Punk? I think there's just too many variables. There are too many factors involved. Is CM Punk even ready to make his Octagon debut, this soon? So I think we're just going to have to wait and see. I think, speculation makes no sense.
Yeah, hey, listen, the guy's a white belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's been training for 18 months. And that means he cannot, no matter who you train with or how you train at 30, you cannot be a very good mixed martial artist. You can get to the point of where Gall is fighting in the lower levels, compete in that, and slowly improve as you add experience. But these are the realities any more than you can become a high-level NFL player or NHL player or whatever. Now, on the other hand, I mean, look at his transitions. They're decent. It looks like maybe he's actually a blue belt and someone who doesn't want to wear a blue belt. But all that aside, here's the thing. I'm happy for the guy that he gets to pursue this thing. We were talking about people who hate Sage Northcutt. Why would you hate him? Because he's successful? Because he gets opportunities? Because he's earned things in his life with the work he's done before? That's what CM Punk gets. So I think it's great for CM Punk, and I hope he has a great experience. He wins a fight. Then after that, he'll be in his 40s. Maybe there'll be a second, and he'll get a job in some capacity in mixed martial arts. I think it's great for him. If you're concerned with how it undermines the UFC, they're not concerned. So I think we're all okay with it.
Mickey Gall will be fighting Mike Jackson on the undercard of the Hendricks versus Thompson Fight Night card, and these two are back on Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time with 5 rounds. They will be discussing all of the fallout that goes down in Newark, New Jersey.